Good morning. Just left the Gravel Springs parking lot. It's Saturday morning, almost 8 o'clock, about 37 degrees. It's chilly, but it's supposed to be a decent day until late afternoon, and then the weather's going to change. It's going to rain. I think a half inch, maybe a little more tonight. So primary goal was about 11.3 today to pass Mountain Shelter. We'll see how I feel when I get there. I might push another 4 to Bird's Nest number 3. The only downside to that is you got that climb out of Panorama up Mary's Rock. That's a grind. But yeah, we'll just see how the day goes. We got to climb right out of Gravel Springs Gap here. Yeah, so looking forward to this adventure. It's I'm planning on 6 days, 5 nights, 83.4 miles, I think, or 83.9. I don't remember. So we'll see how it goes. Sun shining, beautiful day. So I'm getting ready to pass the Gravel Springs Shelter here in a minute. There's a spring and all there, and a cribby. Don't need to stop, I just got out of the car, so we're good. Alright, I'll flip this around and show you some trail. Such a beautiful morning. Things are greening up. Birds are singing. We saw a ton of deer coming in this morning. That's the most deer I've seen up here in a while. Squirrel. Alright, so one thing about this trip, I'm carrying a lot of food. I'm carrying 6 days of food to get me through the park. My original plan was to, I think there was like 4 or 5 meals I didn't have to pack because the waysides would be open. But I checked, I think on Thursday with the park service, and the waysides are open, but they're open for like supplies and souvenirs. Like you can probably buy ramen and Spam and stuff like that. But you're not going to get a hamburger or a chicken tender and fries or a milkshake or any of that, which I was kind of hoping for. Park Service says those things don't open until May 28th. I guess that's Memorial Day weekend, but man, the park's been busy every weekend this year, it seems like. So I don't know, it seems like now would be a good time to open it, especially with the through hiker bubble coming through and all that. So I'm carrying 6 days of food. It's heavy. My base weight was 18 pounds. If you remember, I'm a hammock camper, so top and bottom quilt, but I brought a 40-degree quilt, top quilt, and then a 20-degree under quilt. So it's torso length, so I was able to save a little bit of weight there. Hardly any extra clothes. I got extra socks and stuff, but my puffy, my R1 fleece, a few things like that. But the food, my food bag was 10 or 11 pounds, I think. So today I'm only carrying 1 liter of water to start out with because there's a spring 5 miles in, so I'll just get water there. I do have a bottle of Gatorade with me, primarily because I want the bottle. I like to mix my coffee drink and stuff in that wider top bottle. So, but yeah, we're heavy starting out. Like 30 pounds probably. It'll go down. And I'm trying something new this time. I'm using a alcohol stove instead of my BRS and propane or propane, isobutane, whatever it is. So yeah, something new. Nice little view spot. Let's see what we can see here. That's pretty incredible. Well, been hiking for almost an hour, thereabouts, and I have not seen another hiker. I just saw a group of cyclists at the overlook stopping for a break. No hikers, not yet. I'm sure the trail will get busy here shortly. Yeah, you can, Skyline Drive's just up there, right on top of the hill there. Hogback Mountain is no joke. It's a climb, that's where we're going. I came from down there. Flip the camera on. Yeah, so that's where we're going, up top. Thank goodness there's switchbacks. Yeah, we came from down there. So it's a good climb right here. Is this the top of Hogback Mountain? Nope, still goes up a little more. I just kicked up a rough grouse about 25 yards back. And they are pretty. It's a beautiful bird. Ooh, finally going downhill a little bit. Still haven't seen any hikers. There's a tower up there. This is Hogback Mountain. That view. That is incredible. Incredible, incredible. Mount Marshall is over that way somewhere. That's where I was last weekend. It's just hard to say where. And that is beautiful. I gotta get a picture of that. Going through some rhododendrons. I have passed a few hikers now. Some look like they're day hikers, and then a couple that are out for the weekend. That is one old tree. Goodness. All right, we're coming down the hill to Elk Wallow Wayside. So I'm gonna stop there, probably grab a soda, a little bag of Cheetos, and then I'm gonna eat my lunch. Take a little break, maybe a 45-minute break or so, see how it goes. Just passed probably 6 or 8 through hikers on their way northbound. All right, I'll get back to you here in a few minutes. Looking forward to something to eat. I'm hungry. I always eat light in the morning when I'm starting out. Now, I'm pretty hungry. Burn everything off already. I got to rest for about a half an hour or so. Feel pretty good. Filled up on water. And it looks like a little less than 8 miles to camp. That'll put me at Pass Mountain Hut. So there's weather coming in this evening, probably around 6 p.m. So I don't think I'm going to make that extra 4.5 mile push to Bird's Nest. Number 3. That's up pretty high. I think the wind's supposed to pick up. Let me see where I'm going here all of a sudden. Good deal. All right, just want to make sure I'm heading the right way. So, yeah, had a great conversation with a flip-flop hiker, through hiker. He's from Georgia, but he's started at Rockfish Gap. So, yeah, hike's going well for him. Nice chatting with him a little bit. And now we're back on the trail, heading south, with the goal of hitting Pass Mountain Hut probably in about 4.5 hours or so. It took me right at 3 hours exactly to hike the 6 miles into Elk Wallow. And I was stopping a few times to talk to hikers and whatnot. So that's not too bad. I'm happy with that pace. So I don't know if there's still one more decent climb today or not. I can't remember. I think it is. I think we go up and over a mountain, and then the hut lays on the other side. So we'll see. All right, let me get off here and pay attention to what I'm doing, and I will get back to y'all shortly. This is another one of those climbs that seem to go on forever. That's where we're heading. We just came up from down there. A little bit of a view of the mountains off in the distance. That climb seems to be done. Whew, that was long. It's been almost an hour since I left Elk Wallow, and it's been uphill the whole time. Whew. Man. Trail's in great shape though. Makes for a nice walk. A nice saunter in the woods. Walking on a ridge. It's kind of nice. Doe right there. That's climb number 3 today. I'm out of shape. Here's what's funny about the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to show you looking north. All right, we just came up. It was a pretty long climb. I think this is called Neighbor Mountain, but it's a pretty good climb. You get to the top, and literally 5 yards across the top, maybe, and then it goes down. Why couldn't they take us out around the side of this thing? All right, one more hill to climb. I think that's probably Pass Mountain, and then the shelter's on the other side. I got just about 3 miles to go. Whew. Pass Mountain. Good climb here too. Camera doesn't do it justice. But we came from way down there. So it's almost 3 o'clock. I'm about 1.2 or 3 miles from camp. Shouldn't take us too much longer to get there. I get up over this hump, it's all downhill from there. I'm almost out of water. I went by a spring and didn't fill up. That was a mistake. I know better. I don't know why I do stuff like that. Anyway. Whew. Almost there. This is the first view we've had in a while. Once the leaves are on the trees, you don't have any view. Big old pine forest. Nice easy walking. Flat ground. I can hear off in the distance, off to my left, a search helicopter. I guess they're still looking for that teenager that went missing up here. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. I think he's 17. He was last seen in the park wearing, sounds like flannel pajama bottoms, a hoodie, and tennis shoes. And we've had 2 nights that he would have been out here in the low 30s. I don't know how he could survive that, but miracles happen. I hope they find something soon, because tonight it's going to be wet and probably 40 degrees, maybe 45. Good morning. Day 2. Fog rolled in this morning. Everything is soaking wet. I'm getting ready to have some hot coffee and breakfast essentials. Warm up, pack up, and then take Southbound. So, yeah, it rained a lot last night, and the fog rolled in. There's a little breeze now, so hopefully it'll blow it out of here. Shelter area here was packed. Tons of tents, tons of people camping in the shelter. Yeah. A couple through hikers left because the shelter area was full and they didn't have a place to stay. So I think it's probably a Boy Scout group there because they got their camp chairs and everything and they're just camped out in the shelter. So one guy said it was a typical Saturday night on the AT, everything but the music. So, all right, let me get my coffee heated up here and get things packed up.
It's a spot.
At least in the Batman animated series. I'm sure it's different depending on the series.
Okay, so I have a torso length underquilt for spring and summer, and I had trouble keeping it attached to my setup, so I found these things online. They're called triangle thingies, literally triangle thingies, but it attaches to your hammock, lays across it, and then comes down. Then there's adjustable straps here and connects to your torso length underquilt, so it keeps it positioned just right. You know, this time of the year I don't need an underquilt that goes from, you know, one end clean down to the other. So these things work really good, and I'll see if I can find a link and I'll put it in the description. Good morning. Okay, it's about 8:30. I'm a little later getting out of camp than what I wanted to be, but God, everything's soaking wet. There's where I had my hammock yesterday. Yeah, it rained pretty hard last night, but it was a good night's sleep. I think I was asleep by 7:30. Excuse me. So yeah, all packed up, hiking downhill for a while to Thornton Gap, which is about 1.5 miles. So still pretty foggy, as you can see. I think I'm the last one out of camp. I don't hear anything over at the shelter, and the 3 guys I was camped with last night are just left. And I think there was a through hiker in a tent down there, and she was gone at like daylight. So, all right, well, let me get to hiking, and I'll if there's nobody in the shelter, I'll show you that when I go by it. There's several flat camping spots here just below the shelter. There's a bear box at the shelter, and then there's a bear pole here, which is nice, so you don't have to walk out to the bear box if you don't want. The spring is behind the shelter. There's Pass Mountain Hut. There's also a bear pole here, the molting privy, and another privy. So this campsite has basically 3 stalls. That's nice. Let me show you this hut real quick. Typical Shenandoah National Park hut. It's a little tight in there, but you get a lot of people in there, I think. Picnic table, more camping down there, down the trail, and then there's a fire ring here. I'm not sure, there's a blue trail there, I don't know what that goes to, but I showed you the spring last night when I was filling up, but the spring's just right there where that yellow post is, or that yellow band on that post, and it's a good flow. All right, so it's 0.2 uphill out of here back to the Appalachian Trail. So let me get busy. Nice little access road in. They are still looking for that missing kid as far as I know. I guess the fog's gonna hamper the helicopters coming in today, but yesterday the park was using the Pinnacle's picnic ground as the staging area for search and rescue crews. Sure hope they find that young man. I don't know what's going on, but it didn't sound like he was dressed for the elements, that's for sure. Here, let me show you something. I think the sun might be trying to break through. Birds are singing. Wind in the treetops. It's a beautiful morning, even though it's overcast. The woods are coming alive. It's awesome. Okay, let me keep hiking. Well, thank goodness for gut hooks. I'm walking down this fire road. I see this tree across. I'm like, I don't think that was there last night. I must have missed the blue trail that takes me up to... Hey, mama. Hey, girl. There's a deer standing right there. What you doing? What you doing? Such a pretty girl. Such a pretty girl. I'll leave you alone. Bye. A big old doe. She's pretty. Anyway, I must have missed the cutoff trail. I don't know what I did wrong, but I walked down this road a ways. It's kind of dumb. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Alright, so, well, had I not been videoing and been paying attention, I went this way, here, when I should have gone that way. I was probably 3/10 of a mile off before I realized my mistake. So I just walked an extra half a mile or more. All right, well, let me get back to it. You can see how I can confuse a path with a fire road. Unbelievable. Well, I guess on a scale of 1 to 5 for situational awareness, I get a 1 or a 0. Daggone. That was a dumb mistake. Fortunately, I didn't go any further. But it happens. It happens. Alright. Almost back to the junction of the AT. It's right here. See the concrete post in the middle of the trail. And then it's downhill to Thornton Gap. About a mile and a half. So, let me show you around in a second. It's still pretty foggy here on top. We just came up the hill from there. Yeah, pretty flat on top. All right, there's the concrete post. We're going to take a left turn, continue south on the Appalachian Trail. Here we are. Past Mountain Shelter. Southbound on the AT. So I've learned to plan for just about every eventuality out here on the trail. One thing you can't really plan for is fog. So if fog rolled in, everything gets soaking wet. I mean, you're just in a mist. Slept great last night. Woke up this morning, went to take my bag off, or my quilt, and it was soaking wet. I thought, well, did my tarp leak or what's going on? And I took a peek outside and fog bank. We're in a fog bank now. So everything just gets soaked. Not much you can do about it. So I think it ain't gonna dry out today. I think my plan is to get to Thornton Gap, get a ride home, hang everything up to dry tonight, and get cleaned out, dried out, repacked, and then come back out probably tomorrow, Monday, and keep hiking. So we'll see how the day goes, see how get things dried out and all that, and kind of go from there. So there's just no way. I've got down quilts, and when down gets wet, it loses its insulating properties. So last night was supposed to get down around the high 30s up here. After I'd been up about an hour or so this morning and milling about, I checked my little thermometer and it was like 42. So, but I stayed toasty last night. So I didn't get cold, I just got wet. So anyway, but you know, I really like my quilts that I use. They're from a company, Jacks Are Better. I got put onto those by a fellow scouter friend of mine years ago, and I love them. I mean, I'm not paid to say that. I get nothing in return. I just, you know, think they're a good company, and I would recommend them. Their quilts may be a tad heavier than everybody else's. I don't know. I haven't researched that. But they're not heavy at all, and they pack down nicely, and they wear well. They're comfortable. After being stuffed all day, you get to camp, shake them out, put them in your hammock or your tent, and they loft right back up. So they're comfortable. So, all right. I got the rambling. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was talking so much. So let me, I don't think we're going to get any views because we're in the fog. Let me keep hiking. Pretty sure I'm back on the same fire road that I took earlier. So it would have dumped me out right here at the junction of the trail, but I wouldn't have walked by those white blazes, so it didn't count. Road goes that way. Trail goes this way. We're going to take the trail, denoted by the 2x6 white blaze. All right, we got road noise from Route 211 down here at the Gap, so we're getting close. I just lost like 15 or 20 minutes. I ran into a older gentleman going uphill who was a recovering stroke patient from, I don't know, a couple years ago, I guess he said. And then he was having trouble with his hiking poles and needed some help adjusting the strap, you know, the handles on the strap that dangle right there, because he didn't have enough strength to really pull on them. So I enjoyed talking with him for a little bit. Put me behind, but that's okay. Yeah, we're getting close now, but you can see we're still in a fog bank. Everything's just still fogged in. It's crazy. All right, straight ahead takes you to Mary's Rock and points south. To the left is the parking lot at Panorama. I'm glad I'm not doing that climb to Mary's Rock today. It's like 15 or 1600 feet straight up. And here's the parking lot. Huzzah! Hopefully my ride's here. I haven't had service all morning, so I couldn't text to let her know when I was leaving camp. Look at the fog blowing. That's pretty awesome.